global fan base, especially right here in Chicago, and who can blame them? The guy has talent and, of course, his rugged good looks. Sporting a rich acting background, Scottish-born Gerard Butler first became known to American audiences when he won the coveted role of the Phantom in Joel Schumacher's 2004 film adaptation of The Phantom of the Opera.
The darkness of the music of the night.
But it was in 2007 that Butler gained worldwide recognition for his portrayal as the mighty King Leonidas in the blockbuster 300.
This is Sparta!
Butler has continued to work alongside Hollywood's elites, including Hilary Swank, Jodie Foster, Jamie Foxx, Katherine Heigl, and Jennifer Aniston.
I'm not letting you take me to jail.
Duly noted.
In his new film, Machine Gun Preacher, Butler plays Sam Childers, the real-life former drug addict who turned his life around and dedicated himself to rescuing children in the war zone in Sudan.
I want to go into Sudan this weekend. Need someone to show me around.
This is a war zone. If you stay here, you're going to get killed.
Safer to sleep here than in our own homes.
Ain't sleeping out here.
There are too many. You can't have them all.
A good one. Please welcome Gerard Butler. Welcome.
How are you, Gerard?
Very good.
Have a seat. Thanks for coming.
You don't know how to
Wow,
take that.
thank you. What an audience.
If only you were good looking, life would be a little better. Welcome back to Chicago. I know that you shot a movie here a few years ago.
Yeah, I did. I shot a movie with Pierce Brosnan and Maria Bello. It's called Shattered. And there's always a pause after that. People go, "Oh, he did that?" I don't know that one. I don't know. But yeah, I've been in and out of Chicago a few times. I had a girlfriend from Chicago many years ago. So.
Speaking of girlfriend, are you single?
I'm single. I'm single right now.
You are single.
They have this thing called Match.com if you need some help.
I know of it. I'm on it. So.
You know, if you watch your films, you can speak like an American so well that if you didn't know that you were from Scotland, people would have no idea. How do you mimic us so well?
But by listening to you, you know, from watching movies and from practicing, and I've probably, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say I've probably had about 1,000 dialect sessions in my life. Because when I do a movie, I start 2 months before. I work every day with the coach, and then I keep up the accent the whole way through the movie. So it works great for American, but it's terrible for Scotland, because then they're like, dude, they're like, yo, what you doing? What's going on with you? You sound like a Yankee. You know?
Well, I didn't know you could sing.
I can't. That's why.
You sure pulled something off there in The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had never had a singing lesson in my life before I went. I sang. I took one lesson to see, and I sang Music of the Night. And I said to the singing coach, just let me know, am I wasting my time? And she said, no, you need work because you've never sang before. But so over the next year, I learned to sing, and then did the movie, and
wow.
There you go. Yeah.
And no acting lessons either.
No acting. I mean, I've been to a couple of classes and worked more recently actually with this coach. But generally, no, I didn't go to acting because I went to law school.
Yeah, because you're a trained lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're in any trouble, you can just handle. You can go pro tem, right? Or
yeah.
pro se, whatever it is.
Yeah, which I've done many times.
Yeah. Trained lawyer, but it was like a week before you were qualified to practice law, you got fired.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. I was enjoying life a little too much. No, in truth, I knew probably from my first day in a law firm that this wasn't for me. And I spent the next 2 years training, and I became very kind of disillusioned and unhappy, and it just wasn't going well. You know, and it was all very amicable. They basically said, look, you know, we know your dreams lie elsewhere, so, you know, go and go for it. But just, you're not really cut out to be a lawyer.
And did he go for it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a question from a lady in our audience, Monica. She has something she wants to ask you, Monica. Go ahead.
Oh.
Ask away. It's your time.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Hi, Hi, Jerry. Welcome to Chicago. On behalf of Jerry's Midwest Classy Lasses, we'd like to welcome you and wish you much success with Machine Gun Preacher. One of the questions we had was, if you're privy to discussing it as Robert Burns, will we ever see the movie and when?
Robert Burns, by the way, he was a poet and he's our national bard. He's our Shakespeare, you know, and he just is everything about romance and passion and you know, and everything it means to be Scottish. You know, we identify with Robert Burns. So it's a project we've been working on for a while, but it's a passion project, and you know, it's actually we just got another writer on it who I think is really going to freshen it up, and so it'll still be a year or two before it comes to, but I would love that to be made, but if we're going to make it, we have to do it right.
Yeah. All right, Gerard. Well, Gerard's going to stick around. We're going to talk about his new movie, Machine Gun Preacher, when we come back, so stay with us. More Gerard after the break.
Built in Sudan.
They talk about you, the children.
Just trying to help these people. Same as you.
The entire rebel army has put a bounty on your head.
Must be doing something right.
We are back with Gerard Butler, who you just saw there as Sam Childers in Machine Gun Preacher, which hits theaters on September 30th. What was your first reaction when you heard Sam Childers' story?
Well, hopefully the same reaction everybody will have when they go to see the movie, but it's almost unbelievable what this guy went through. You know, drug addict, he was a violent man in and out of jail, who then found God, turned his life around, and ended up down in Africa, built an orphanage for orphan kids, and basically went out on undercover missions with a machine gun and a private army to take the kids back in, while still being a preacher. And that's just, you know, that's it in a nutshell. There's so much more to it than that, and you go, wow.
Yeah, Val and I saw the movie last night. Extremely powerful film. Is it tougher to play a character that's real life, a guy in real life, rather than a guy that's made up on paper?
Well, even though it's a guy who's real life, you still got to make up a lot of it anyway, you know, just to fit in with the drama that you're telling. So Sam is a strong, tough guy with a lot to say. That's what was tough about it. You go, I don't want to mess with this guy, you know, I kind of want to get it right. But at least there you have the source material, you know, the source right there in front of you. So I think that helps. You know, he was around to tell me what happened.
And this guy's a preacher, but he is not perfect by any means. I mean, you see him get angry even when he finds God, and you see him, you know, want to go after people. It's almost like they called him Rambo in the movie because he had such a passion for these people.
Yeah, no, he's definitely the ultimate definition of an anti-hero. You know, I mean, he in other ways was insensitive, going through all this with his own family. And he was just kind of blinded by his mission, you know, and suffered a lot with his own guilt and shame. And yeah, no, not a perfect character by any stretch of the imagination, but almost he needed to be that to achieve what he achieved.
There were so many powerful scenes in the movie. Could you name one that really tugged at your heartstrings?
I think perhaps my scene with the little boy at the end, you know, which just summed up so much. It's really you know, when he finally speaks, it's something that you know, he talks in a way that's such a great principle for life, and it changes my whole life. And I really think there are a lot of life-changing moments in this movie, and that's what I felt from that scene, and it just every time just killed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we have Moira in the audience. I think she's from Scotland, right, Moira?
Yes.
You have a question for Gerard?
Yes. What process do you go through to choose your roles?
Hey Moira, by the way.
Hi, how are you?
She's like my buddy now. It depends, you know. I mean, some roles I go by just by what the role says to me. You know, often it's just the script. You put a script down and you go, I love that. I want to tell that story. You know, sometimes it's just for fun, like An Ugly Truth or A Bounty Hunter. But in a movie like this, you go, this is such an incredible story, and it has to be told. And I feel honoured to be the guy that has a chance to do that. And I know if I'm touched like that, then to think that anybody else might be touched and moved even 1/10 of that is really, it's a great place to be for me.
Will we see more, you know, kind of mixing it up? You see the romantic comedies, the I Am Sparta, you know, those kind of things.
Oh, that was a great one.
I'm sure you get that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I got it in a public toilet. I got it in a public toilet once at an airport, and everybody else was around, and I was like, okay. It's like, this is Sparta. And I'm like,
You're like, great, buddy.
yeah. And everybody else in the toilet, like,
Gerard, thank you so much for being here. Best of luck with the film. It's terrific. We saw it last night. Machine Gun Preacher hits theaters on September 30th. Check it out. Okay.